Hello, beautiful people from YouTube. My name is Winnie, and today I'm talking about Love and How to Work by Christina Lauren. Now, this is something different. I read Christina Lauren books all the time, but this is something different because this is like a present and past type of book, and I don't really read present and past book. To me, I think it would be confusing, but not with that one. Now, Love and Other Words is about two best friends that are neighbors. Now, her mom died when she was 10, and her dad kind of gave her, it was cancer, and so they already knew that she was gonna die, but they didn't know when. So her mom gave the dad a list, like what you do when she got her first period, what you do when the first boyfriend comes and break her heart, stuff like that, like a guide of what to do. So in the guide, it tell you because she was about 9 or 10 when the mom died, so she wasn't really a teen yet. So when she was almost 13, that when the dad noticed that she was already didn't change into that teen, she's 13, she didn't, her attitude changed, like she just, instead of talking, she was like, So right away when he saw that, he was like, you know what? I didn't buy a beach house. Now on the list, the mom said take her away somewhere that she could be relaxed and not really think about, high school or middle school, whatever she was going through at that time. So he bought a beach house, and right on that beach house they have a neighbor named Elliot, and Elliot and him and her became best friends from the beginning. Right when they bought the house, she went up there to go pick out her new room, and in that room, inside the closet, there was a boy reading, and she was freaking out, like, who is the kid, blah, 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 and it was the neighbor. So, her and the neighbor, about, but the little boy is like 14, and she was like 13. It was like a year older, and, yeah, so, they know that he liked to read and she liked to read. In that closet, the dad made her a library in that closet. So instead of having her clothes, it offered books. And her dad built like bookshelf and having a night chair to read, and our own little library, and her and him became really good friends, and then they hang out and read, and I didn't get older, then we're talking about, then guys and boys, when you get to that age, they become like curious about kissing and other things, and then they've been talking about that. They're like, wow, and then he already kissed somebody already, and she kind of got jealous a little bit because he already kissed a girl and she haven't even kissed a guy yet. So when she kind of like make a lie-ish that she kissed a boy to make him feel like, okay, if you could kiss a girl, you could kiss a guy too. And he kind of got jealous too. And then, so she was the first guy that she kissed, and from there, then being kissing buddies. From there, then became like boyfriend and girlfriend. And then, yeah, then we're going to like the intimate level. And then from there on, then we're about 18, 17, that then we're already like, really, really dating and being intimate and everything. And he was about to go to college the following year, and she was already in her senior year. So they were kind of getting worried, like what could happen to the relationship and everything. And then when you go to the present day, she kind of meet him on the coffee shop, and she kind of like run away from him ish, and kind of leave and don't want to talk to him and he was kind of like mad about that, because they're like, we were best friends, we was dating, what happened, why are you not talking to me, and all that. So on the present day, he don't know what happened on the past, because he was way too drunk to remember what happened. So back on the present day, on the past, then he was already going to college. She was going on her senior year, and then from there, she would then go meet with him at college the following year. But that year, they were talking every now and then, and that night, that day, he talked to her over the phone area and tell her, hey, there's a party going on, and I didn't go to that, it didn't be fun, and then she was like, okay, have fun, she didn't really worry about him cheating, she didn't really worry about anything, because they have a very, very good trust, commitment that he never broke. So, she just said, have fun and be careful, that's it. And all of a sudden, around 11 o'clock, she got a phone call saying, all of a sudden, no, she had a gut feeling that something didn't happen that day, and she had to call him, and somebody else picked up the phone, and then I like, where area, blah blah blah. Oh, he not here. Want to come over to the house, and I could tell you where he is. So that guy gave her the address to go meet up at the house. So her and her dad took off, and her and her dad took off and to go see what had happened to Elliot and everything. So her dad never went down. She just went off and see what's up. And in one of the bedrooms on the house, he had her and a girl there, and he was drunk, and they were both nude. So So she just took off and left. And, Elliot didn't know nothing about it. They're like, what? I mean, how? Because he would call and text every day, and she would never reply, during the past. And he didn't know what happened. And when I go to the present day, she told her what happened. And he was sad, he was crying, was saying, I am so sorry and all that. Because he don't remember and she does. And she had time to process it and everything. And during that time, right in the beginning, during that time, she was engaged to a boyfriend, then broke up and everything. So, it was a lot. Right in the beginning of the book, I forgot to tell you that. Right in the beginning of the book, she was engaged to a boyfriend who was a doctor and also have a kid. Not a kid with her, but he already had a kid. And, she was engaged to that guy. I don't really know what the guy's name is, because, to be honest, on the book, right on the beginning of the book, she was engaged to that guy. Now, I didn't tell you that in the beginning, because he only come out about maybe 4 or 5 times in the book. And, so she kind of broke up with him because Elliot kind of came back, and the emotions of him coming back and her feelings with him, it wasn't over yet. And they wanted to see what could happen. So she ended the relationship with him, and Elliot and her is trying to work it out to see what could happen. So, as the finding out about his cheating, he went in shock of what happened and how did that die because of that situation right there. So, it was a lot for him to deal with at that time, and he was just freaking out and everything. So, when the dad died, he did not know about his death at all. So she was at the house with all the lights off. So he thinks that nobody is home. And that's what she wants people to think, that nobody is home. Because when she did not want it to see him. She wasn't really all there to talk about what happened. She was just worried about the dad that died, and she didn't want to deal with anything else. So that's what she did. She broke everything off. So she wanted to sell the house, so she is packing everything up and not selling this, renting the house, but she didn't want to pack everything up with photos and pictures and little things. So she's there packing, and so while she telling him all the information, she was like, our home how come you didn't see me? Because nobody knew about the dad dying. And she didn't want it to be, she was too sad about the relationship that he never remembered. So now they have a new kind of pack, a new relationship. So now instead of trying to bring up from the past, now they're trying to move forward and be like, look, let's move in together. Let's move in together. Let's move in an apartment together. They said yes, and she moved in with him because she didn't move out with her relationship, so she got in a little apartment. And he they found a new apartment together. So now they're both moving into the apartment together, and everything is looking good for them so far. I mean, in the end, they were always meant to be, but he cheated and he wanted to build that trust up again, and not, because he really did love her. And he was drunk and he got caught, and he just don't remember him cheating at all. Yes, so but it kind of, to me, it wasn't confusing reading the book. I thought it wouldn't be confusing because back and forth, sometimes, like in movies, it does get me confused. When I see a movie that have from the past going back to the present, sometimes it is confusing to me. But on way Christina Lauren, on way they wrote the book, they make it so easy for me to put the pieces together and from the past to the present. So, I really, really love from all the Christina Lauren books, not the series, the standalones. So far, I read Roomies, I read Josh and Hazel Got to Not Dating, and Love and Other Words. I think Love and Other Words is one of my favorites, one from them so far, because they knew each other as they were kids. They were best friends, turned into lovers, and they really, really built this really, really good relationship that kind of went wrong, but then trying to build and fix that relationship up again. It then took about 11 years to get back together, but it really took 11 years for them to see each other again. And they were in college when all that went down, and from there to now, 31, they want to rebuild it but make it better, and not talk about, since they always talk about the past on the book, they want to move forward and not talk about it again like what went wrong. And that what I love about the book. $5 to $5, and do I tell you to read this and go pick it up? Yes, I really do, because from Roomies and Josh and Hazel Got to Not Dating, that I read already. This is the #1 book for the Sign Alone book, and I would do it like that. I would read Love in Other Words, Jonathan Hater Guys Who Not Dating, and Roomies. I would do it like that. If you never read the books, I would go by that because it is very cheap. And Jonathan Hater Guys Who Not Dating, they met in college, so they met in college, and then they were friends as kids, so they kind of it's the same thing, but not really. So I really, really enjoyed it. When I read the book, it reminds me of The Notebook. Is because they met when they were 17 and then built this, the first love, and for them, that also the first love. So when I read the book, it reminds me of The Notebook, how they found love, and that was the only first love that they ever knew. So, Fire the Fight House. So I didn't tell you what is my next read, so I think you should go read it. So I got the books. I got The Losing It, Beautiful Secret, and Tangled. So let's see. Oh yeah, I got Beautiful Secret, where I do have, wait, here, that one. This is book number, hold on, what number is this? Number 8. This one is number 8. So, I am done. It's 10 books. So, if I read that one, I just need 2 more books to go to finish the series. That one is taking me a while because I didn't want it to be. Okay, I know that one is about beautiful stranger Matt. So it's the older brother of Matt that I remember. So, Beautiful Secret. So I can't wait to read that one. And fun fact, at the Dollar Tree, I found that one at $1. So I think that would be pretty cool. And look, it looked brand new, and I found it for $1. Yeah. So Beautiful Secret in my next read. So hopefully I could read that one this week. What today? Yeah. Yeah, but I want to get the book up before Christmas. So that is my goal. So by Friday, I want this to be up. Well, Monday. By Monday. Yeah, so that is my book review for Love in Other Words. I got my Goodreads Instagram link down below. Thanks for watching. Bye.
This Christmas, the fireside is blazing bright.